How many of you have ever felt like you were meant for more? Like there was a fire inside you, but somewhere along the way, life threw water on it. Maybe you were told to be realistic. Maybe you let doubt creep in. Maybe you started believing the lies that society feeds you, that greatness is for them, not for you. I'm here to tell you that is a lie. You were born for greatness. Not just some of you, not just the lucky ones. All of you. But here's the catch. You have to claim it. From the moment you took your first breath, you were designed for something extraordinary. Look at a child. They don't question whether they deserve love, success, or joy. They don't hesitate to dream big. They believe anything is possible. But as we grow, society, experiences, and even well-meaning people around us start placing limits on what we can be, what we can do, and what we can achieve. We get conditioned to believe that greatness is reserved for a select few. Those born into privilege, those with special talents, or those who simply got lucky. But that is a lie. The truth is, you are born with unlimited potential. There is no universal rule that says you must live a life of mediocrity. There is no invisible force deciding who gets to be great and who doesn't. The only thing standing between you and the life you are meant to live is the belief that you are worthy of it. And let me tell you, greatness isn't something external. It isn't something you have to earn from the world. It's already inside you, waiting to be unleashed. Every single person has a gift, a fire, a unique brilliance that no one else on this planet can replicate. The problem is, too many people spend their lives doubting that fire instead of feeding it. They listen to the voices that say, "You're not good enough. You don't have what it takes," or "People like you don't achieve things like that." But those voices are nothing more than echoes of fear. Fear that has been passed down, fear that was learned, fear that can be unlearned. Think about the most successful, most impactful people in history. Do you think they were born with something you don't have? No. They simply made a decision. They decided that their dreams were non-negotiable. They refused to let doubt or failure define them. They understood that greatness is not given to a chosen few. It is claimed by those who believe they are worthy of it and are willing to take action. The moment you shift your mindset, everything changes. When you start believing that you deserve greatness, you begin to act differently. You take risks. You push past fear. You stop waiting for permission to go after what you want. And the world responds to that. Opportunities arise. Doors open. Challenges become stepping stones instead of obstacles. But here's the catch. No one is going to hand you your greatness. You must step up and own it. You must fight for it, commit to it, and refuse to settle for anything less than the life you were meant to live. You must silence the doubts, rewrite the story you've been telling yourself, and step fully into your power. Because the truth is, you don't need permission. You don't need validation. You don't need to wait for the perfect time. You were born for greatness. Now it's time to claim it. The only thing truly standing between you and the life you want is the story you keep telling yourself. Every single limitation you believe in is just that, a belief. It's not reality. It's not the truth. It's a script you've been following, often without even questioning it. From a young age, you've been absorbing messages from your environment, from parents, teachers, friends, and society. Some of those messages have empowered you, but many of them have planted seeds of doubt. You've been told that's not possible. People like you don't do that. You're not smart enough, talented enough, or lucky enough. And without realizing it, those words have shaped your mindset, creating invisible walls around what you think you can achieve. But here's what most people never realize. Those walls aren't real. They exist only in your mind. And the moment you decide to question them, they begin to crumble. The most powerful thing you can do in your life is to take a hard look at your own beliefs and ask yourself, is this actually true? Or is it just something I've accepted without challenge? More often than not, you'll find that your limitations are built on assumptions, fears, and past experiences that no longer serve you. Think about it. How many times have you hesitated to take action because you were afraid of failure? How many times have you settled for less because you believed you weren't capable of more? What if that hesitation, that self-doubt, was nothing more than an outdated program running in your mind, one that you have the power to rewrite? The most successful people in the world weren't born fearless. They weren't born with some secret formula for confidence. They simply learned how to break free from their limiting beliefs. They refused to accept the stories that kept them small. They replaced doubt with action, and every time they pushed past fear, they rewrote their internal script. The real breakthrough happens when you stop identifying with your limitations. You are not your past failures. You are not your mistakes. You are not the labels that others have placed on you. Just because something has been true for you up until now doesn't mean it has to be true moving forward. You have the power to change your thoughts. And when you change your thoughts, you change your life. Start paying attention to the words you use when you talk about yourself. Are you saying, I'm not good at this, or I've never been able to do that? If so, stop. Shift your language. Say, I am learning. I am growing. I am becoming. Speak in a way that empowers you instead of reinforcing old limitations. Challenge every belief that holds you back. Find evidence that proves you wrong. Because once you start dismantling the mental barriers you've built, you'll realize something powerful. You were never truly stuck. The only thing in your way was the illusion of limitation. And the moment you see that, you become unstoppable. Success doesn't come from wishing, hoping, or waiting for the perfect moment. It comes from taking action, massive, relentless action. Too many people spend their lives stuck in their heads, overanalyzing, doubting, and hesitating. They wait until they feel ready, until conditions are ideal, until they have more confidence. But that's the trap. The longer you wait, the more fear creeps in, and the more you convince yourself that you're not capable. And the truth is, you don't need more time, more resources, or more certainty. What you need is to move. Action is what separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck. It's not intelligence, luck, or talent. It's the ability to take massive action even when you don't have all the answers. The moment you start moving, you create momentum, and momentum is everything. Think about a heavy train at a dead stop. It takes a tremendous amount of force to get it moving, but once it picks up speed, it becomes nearly unstoppable. The same principle applies to life. The first steps are always the hardest, but once you push through that resistance, things start to click. You develop confidence, you learn as you go, and you create opportunities that wouldn't have existed if you had stayed still. Most people fail not because they don't have potential, but because they never build momentum. They take small, hesitant steps, and when they don't see immediate results, they stop. But real progress doesn't happen in one giant leap. It happens through consistent, determined effort. The key is to take massive action, not just once, but every single day. That means pushing past the excuses, pushing past the fear, and refusing to slow down just because things aren't perfect. The biggest mistake people make is believing they need motivation to act. They think they need to feel inspired before they can start. But motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes like the weather. The real game changer is discipline, acting regardless of how you feel. The moment you start taking action, something incredible happens. Your energy shifts. Your mindset shifts. You begin to see results, and those results fuel even more action. This is the power of momentum. The more you do, the more capable you feel, and the more unstoppable you become. Look at anyone who has achieved greatness. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait to feel confident. They jumped in, made mistakes, learned from them, and kept going. They understood that action leads to clarity. The more you move, the more you discover what works and what doesn't. You adapt, you refine, and you keep pushing forward. If you want to change your life, stop thinking and start doing. Take one bold step today, then another tomorrow, and keep going until you become a force that cannot be stopped. The more action you take, the more momentum you build, and the more momentum you build, the closer you get to the life you were meant to live. Pain is something most people run from. It's uncomfortable, it's exhausting, and it makes you question everything. But what if pain wasn't your enemy? What if pain was the key to your next level? The truth is, pain is one of the most powerful forces in life, not because it breaks you, but because it has the power to build you into someone stronger than you ever imagined. Every successful person, every champion, every leader you admire has one thing in common. They turned their pain into power. Pain is a teacher. It exposes weaknesses, it reveals blind spots, and it forces you to grow. When you face failure, disappointment, or struggle, you have two choices. You can let it define you, or you can use it to refine you. The people who rise above their circumstances aren't the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who took every setback, every rejection, every heartbreak, and turned it into fuel. They didn't let pain stop them. They let it push them forward. The reason pain feels unbearable isn't because it's impossible to overcome. It's because most people don't know how to use it. They see pain as a reason to quit instead of a reason to push harder. But if you shift your perspective, everything changes. Pain isn't proof that you're failing, it's proof that you're growing. When your muscles burn during a workout, that's not weakness, it's strength being built. When life challenges you, it's not trying to break you, it's trying to mold you into someone stronger. Think about the moments in your life that shaped you the most. Were they the easy times? No, it was the heartbreak, the setbacks, the struggles that forced you to dig deeper. Pain has a way of waking you up, of shaking you out of comfort, of making you realize what truly matters. It's in those moments of suffering that you discover who you really are. You find a strength you didn't know you had, a fire that wouldn't have ignited if life had been easy. Most people avoid pain, and that's why they never grow. They stay in jobs they hate, relationships that drain them, and routines that make them miserable, all because they fear the discomfort of change. But the reality is, avoiding pain creates more suffering in the long run. Growth requires discomfort. Success requires sacrifice. If you want to rise to your full potential, you have to be willing to endure pain, to face it head on, and to use it as a catalyst for transformation. There will be moments when life knocks you down, when the weight of failure feels unbearable. But in those moments, remember this. Pain is temporary, but the strength you gain from it lasts forever. Every hardship, every challenge, every painful experience is a stepping stone to something greater. When you stop fearing pain and start using it, you unlock a version of yourself that is unstoppable. Everything in life starts with a decision. The moment you decide, truly decide, that you will no longer settle, that you will no longer make excuses, and that you will do whatever it takes, everything changes. Most people never reach their full potential because they never fully commit. They say they want success, happiness, or a better life, but deep down, they leave themselves an escape route. They say, I'll try, or I hope this works, instead of declaring, I will. That small shift in mindset is what separates those who succeed from those who remain stuck. Commitment is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. A decision without commitment is meaningless. Anyone can make a decision in the heat of the moment, inspired by a motivational speech or a sudden burst of energy. But what happens when things get hard, when the excitement fades, when the obstacles show up? That's where most people quit. Because they are only interested, not committed. When you are committed, quitting is not an option. You don't let fear, doubt, or temporary setbacks stop you. You adjust, you adapt, and you keep pushing forward. The most powerful force in human nature is resolve. When a person decides with absolute certainty that they will succeed, they tap into a level of energy, focus, and determination that most people never experience. History is filled with stories of people who had every reason to fail. No resources, no support, no guarantees, but they decided they would make it happen no matter what. And because they committed fully, they found a way. They didn't wait for the perfect conditions. They didn't wait for permission. They took action over and over until they conquered their goals. Conquering is not about winning once. It's about becoming someone who refuses to accept defeat. It's about developing a mindset where you see challenges as opportunities, where failure is nothing more than feedback, and where every obstacle becomes fuel for your success. When you decide to conquer, you stop making excuses. You stop blaming circumstances, other people, or bad luck. You take full responsibility for your future, Most people underestimate what they are capable of because they never fully push themselves. They allow fear, procrastination, and self-doubt to hold them back. But those who commit to their vision, who wake up every day with a relentless drive to move forward, become unstoppable. They don't just dream, they execute. They don't just start, they finish. And in the end, they don't just achieve, they transform. Everything you want is on the other side of a decision, followed by unwavering commitment, leading to absolute victory. No more waiting, no more doubting, no more hesitation. Decide, commit, and conquer. That's the formula for success.